Ethan Klein calls Markiplier a psycho after he blocked him. I know that Ethan Klein's a piece of who's fallen off massively and has been like willfully engaging in a drama spiral to the bottom as he like alienates the people around him. The idea that he would rope Markiplier into that is actually wild. Like, sure, whatever. I hope Markiplier survives the drama. I don't know. It reminds me of when the LA fire started and Ethan Klein posted on Instagram, like, I bet Hassan is praying that the fires take out my computer so I don't release my video exposing him. And it's like, dude, there's a fire outside your house. What are you doing? What the you're actually insane. You're mentally ill. Anyway, yeah, I'm rooting for Markiplier on this one. Hopefully, I hope Markiplier can get through this difficult time. It's crazy how awfully far Ethan's fallen into right-wing politics. Zionism and have both been really like effective wedges in making people who consider themselves liberal into fascists. Many such cases. Why does it always start with hating you, Vaush? I'm the tip of the iceberg. I'm the wall. I'm so tired, dude. I suppose I'll read donations.
The screen crackles to life, and there's Vaush, framed in his streaming setup like a rogue projectionist in a grindhouse theater, ready to spin a reel of commentary that's equal parts razor-sharp and delightfully unhinged. He's diving into the latest internet scuffle. Ethan Klein, once the sardonic king of H3H3 Productions, calling Markiplier a psycho after the gaming YouTuber unfollowed him on social media. It's the kind of petty spat that should barely register, a blip in the digital ether. But Vaush seizes it like a plot twist in a noir thriller, spinning it into a parable of Klein's fall from grace and the broader cultural fault lines it exposes. His reaction is a masterclass in controlled chaos, a liberal's lament wrapped in biting comedy, as he marvels at Klein's descent into a drama spiral and roots for Markiplier to emerge unscathed, all while tossing barbs at the ideological wedges, Zionism, right-wing drift, that have turned Klein into a caricature of his former self. Let's rewind and set the stage. Klein's beef with Markiplier, as Vaush recounts, is less a feud than a one-sided tantrum, sparked by a simple unfollow that Klein inflated into a Shakespearean betrayal. It's the kind of move that feels ripped from a teen comedy, where the popular kid freaks out over a lost Instagram follower, but Klein doubles down, accusing Markiplier of faking his deep voice for decades. A charge so absurd it's almost performance art. Vaush's reaction is immediate and visceral, a mix of disbelief and glee, like a cinephile stumbling across a gloriously bad B-movie. He paints Klein as a man unmoored, willfully engaging in a drama spiral that's alienated everyone around him, dragging Markiplier, a figure as inoffensive as a golden retriever, into the muck. It's a narrative that's both hilarious and heartbreaking, a liberal's meditation on how quickly the internet can turn allies into adversaries. As a liberal observer, perched in the balcony of this digital theater, the story resonates like a minor chord. Liberalism, at its core, is a belief in community, in the idea that we're stronger together, hashing out differences through dialogue and shared values. Klein and Markiplier, in their heyday, were part of that community, YouTubers who built empires on humor and authenticity, connecting with millions through shared laughter. But Klein's spiral, as Vaush sees it, is a betrayal of that ethos, a slide into divisiveness that mirrors the broader cultural shift toward polarization. The unfollow isn't the issue, it's the symptom, a sign that Klein's lost the thread, trading camaraderie for clout-chasing spectacle. Vaush's commentary is a liberal's attempt to make sense of that loss, to laugh at the absurdity while mourning the fracture. The comedy of Vaush's reaction lies in its hyperbole, the way he leans into Klein's meltdown with the glee of a stand-up comic spotting a heckler. He compares Klein's antics to a man joking about wildfires burning his computer to avoid an exposé, a metaphor so vivid it's practically a short film. It's peak Vaush, blending outrage with absurdity, and it's impossible not to laugh as he paints Klein as a digital Icarus, flying too close to the sun of drama and plummeting into irrelevance. But there's a deeper layer here, a liberal's recognition that this isn't just about Klein, it's about the internet itself, a place where egos inflate like hot air balloons and every slight becomes a casus belli. Vaush's humor is a coping mechanism, a way to process the chaos without losing sight of the stakes. Let's zoom in on Markiplier, the unlikely co-star in this drama. He's the straight man in this comedy of errors, a YouTuber whose brand is built on earnestness and horror game jump scares, not petty feuds. Vaush's defense of him is almost paternal, a plea for Markiplier to survive Klein's onslaught as if he's a damsel tied to the tracks of a runaway hype train. It's a funny image, but it's also revealing. Markiplier represents a kind of digital innocence, a reminder of what YouTube used to be before it became a gladiatorial arena. Vaush's rooting for him isn't just about this specific beef, it's about preserving a corner of the internet that hasn't been consumed by toxicity. As a liberal, there's a nostalgia here, a longing for the days when online creators felt like collaborators, not combatants, building communities instead of burning them down. But the real meat of Vaush's reaction, the part that gives this story its weight, is his pivot to ideology. He doesn't just mock Klein's drama spiral, he ties it to a broader narrative of political betrayal. Klein, once a liberal darling, has veered rightward, Vaush argues, seduced by Zionism and other wedges that turn progressives into reactionaries. It's a charge that lands like a plot twist in a political thriller, reframing Klein's beef with Markiplier as a symptom of a deeper rot. Vaush's tone is equal parts exasperated and incisive, a liberal's cry of frustration at seeing a comrade fall to the dark side. He's not just laughing at Klein's meltdown, he's diagnosing it, tracing its roots to the same forces that have fractured the left: tribalism, bad faith, and the allure of performative outrage. As a liberal, this is where the story cuts deepest, like a knife you didn't see coming until it's lodged in your ribs. Liberalism is supposed to be a big tent, a place where disagreements are hashed out through reason, not excommunication. But Klein's trajectory, as Vaush sees it, is a case study in how that tent can collapse. His beef with Markiplier isn't just personal, it's ideological, a microcosm of the way political wedges like Zionism can turn allies into enemies. Vaush's commentary is a liberal's attempt to hold the line, to call out the drift without surrendering to despair. He's not just mocking Klein, he's mourning him, grieving the loss of a voice that once spoke to the same values but now sings a different tune. The metaphor of the multiplex comes into sharp focus as Vaush's stream unfolds, each segment a different screen in the internet's crowded theater. Klein's beef is the melodrama in Theater 1, all histrionics and overblown stakes, while Markiplier's silence is the quiet character study in Theater 2, understated but resonant. Vaush's reaction is the documentary in Theater 3, a blend of humor and analysis that tries to make sense of the chaos. And the liberal perspective is the audience, watching it all, torn between laughter and lament. This isn't just a story about a YouTube feud. It's a story about the internet as a crucible, where egos are forged and broken, and the line between ally and enemy shifts with every refresh. Vaush's exhaustion, palpable as he sighs about being the tip of the iceberg for Klein's ire, adds a layer of tragicomedy to the narrative. He's the reluctant protagonist in this saga, a leftist who's become a lightning rod for drama he didn't start. It's a role he plays with relish, but there's a weariness beneath the snark, a liberal's fatigue at the endless cycle of feuds and faction. He jokes about being the wall that Klein's hatred crashes against, but it's a gallows humor, a nod to the toll of being a public figure in a polarized age. As a liberal observer, there's a kinship in this exhaustion, a recognition that fighting for progress means wading through the muck, even when it feels like you're the only one still swinging. The broader cultural implications of this story are what give it staying power, like a film that lingers long after the credits roll. Klein's spiral, as Vaush frames it, isn't just a personal failing. It's a symptom of a digital ecosystem that rewards outrage over understanding, spectacle over substance. The internet is a hall of mirrors, distorting egos and amplifying slights until they feel like world-ending betrayals. Vaush's reaction is a liberal's attempt to break those mirrors, to laugh at the absurdity while pointing to a better way. He's not just rooting for Markiplier. He's rooting for a version of the internet where creators lift each other up, where disagreements don't become death matches, where the big tent stays standing. The comedy of this narrative lies in its contradictions, the way Vaush balances righteous indignation with self-aware absurdity. He's calling Klein a fascist 1 minute and cracking jokes about wildfires the next, a tightrope act that's as entertaining as it is incisive. But there's a poignancy too, a liberal's hope that even in this fractured digital age, there's still room for redemption, for community, for streams that don't just dunk but dream. Vaush's reaction isn't the end of the story. It's a chapter, a moment in the ongoing saga of the internet's messy, beautiful attempt to figure itself out. So here's to Vaush, the projectionist of Twitch's crowded multiplex, still spinning reels even as the audience throws popcorn. Here's to Ethan Klein, the flawed antihero whose spiral is a cautionary tale. Here's to Markiplier, the quiet hero who didn't ask for this fight. And here's to the liberal ideal, flickering in the dark, still betting on a world where the drama doesn't drown out the dialogue.